guys! So I'm gonna do a little tutorial on how I do my eyes. So when you start with painting eyes, you're gonna start off with blank eyes like this. It's like a blank canvas. So the eyes actually came with foam backing, and I went ahead and threw those out because I don't really need them for these purposes since I'm painting them anyway. But they're gonna come blank like this unless you put those foam backs. So before we begin, where do you get these kind of eyes? So you can get these kind of eyes on Amazon, Alibaba, Temu, I think Shein. And these sites will have different kinds of eyes. So they can have offset pupils like this. They can have pupils in the middle. They can have colored pupils. It's really up to your preference. For me, I like the offset look because it ends up looking super cute at the end with the plushie. But again, it's totally up to you. And here are some examples of the eyes that I've done, and I think that everybody has their methods of doing different kinds of eyes. So here's another one, and here is a glittery look with primarily red glitter with flecks of silver. So you could really be creative and try different things. Now in terms of medium, so I use a paintbrush and just like a container for my paint. Other people use resin. I'm not the most comfortable with using resin, but a lot of people have success with using resin. Others can use glue and glitter just individually. I personally like to use the glitter acrylic just because it's easier and it's pretty much glue and glitter already combined. So I use the Deco Art Galaxy Glitter. And this comes in a pack at Michael's, but you can also buy them individually. It's just more cost efficient. So I have just different colors. I also have paint in matte black, and this will be important for finishing the eyes. And I also have a clear sealant to seal your eyes at the end. And that's just a precautionary measure for when you're finished with actually painting. Another medium you can use, you might actually have in your house right now, and it's nail polish. So if you paint your nails, you might have nail polish lying around. So I just have random nail polish colors just around the house and everything. You can definitely use nail polish, and it ends up actually being faster than the glitter paint or the glitter acrylic. So let's begin. So first I'm going to do the glitter paint, and then I could also go through how I do nail polish, and you could decide what you want to do. I think that everybody does theirs differently, so I kind of play around with it myself, and you definitely have room to experiment, and you can spin it to do your own thing, but in the end it kind of is meant to give your plushie more character. Just don't stress about it at all, just have fun with it. So let's go ahead and begin. So I'm going to take this blue Galaxy Glitter, and then I'm going to just put a little dollop of it in here in my container. You don't need that much. Then I'm going to take my blank eyes. I'm going to lay them flat like this with the pupils on the bottom. I'm going to take my paintbrush. I'm going to dip it into the glitter. And then I'm just going to start going around. Just going to start going around the eye, covering all the clear parts. See? So you're just going to continue going around until you finish. What I noticed with the glitter acrylic is that you end up getting spots. It's not really covering it all the way, so you might have to do a couple passes of the glitter in order for you to completely saturate the color all over the clear part. And you might want to wear gloves. I kind of just going it barehanded, I guess, but feel free to use gloves if you don't want to have glitter all over your hands and stuff. But I don't know, I just like to get messy with it. Art is messy, not meant to be super neat and clean. I feel like the messier you get, I feel like the more creative you get, honestly. So that looks pretty good. And you can also check what it looks like. by flipping it over right away. Make sure you don't get glitter all over yourself, but that's a way to check it real quick. But you just want to set it down, pupil side down, and then start your other eye. I'm gonna do this eye on my own. So if you're following with me, go ahead and do your other eye on your own, and I'll come back to you afterwards. Alright guys, so it looks like mine are pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and let them dry. Something that is also a disadvantage of the glitter acrylic, besides you having to put layers and layers of it, is that it dries pretty slow. If you have like a fan, I have an overhead fan, I kind of just leave it on while these dry. It takes probably an hour or so for this to really set. I would maybe say 30 minutes, but an hour to be safe. So while I set these eyes out to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and start on a nail polish set. So I'm gonna take one of my nail polishes, and this one's just an Essie polish. So the main disadvantage for the nail polish is of course the smell. However, I think the overall saturation and being able to have full coverage of the eye by just one pass, just depending on the nail polish of course, I think that's a huge advantage, and it's fast drying. I mean, with nail polish, you want a fast drying kind of product in the first place. We're gonna take that eye, again, pupil side down, and we're just gonna go ahead and go around the circumference of the eye and making sure to cover all the clear parts. Don't worry if you get it on this part, on the black part. You're not gonna be able to see it on your plushie anyway. You could always use nail polish remover, you know. Don't have to be all perfect with it. So you could already see from one pass that it's a lot more saturated and covers more of the eye than the glitter did with one pass. You could just do one coat and it ends up being saturated like this. And you could even verify it like this without having to worry about it dripping on you. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second eye on my own, and then you can circle back with me when you're finished with your eye. It looks like I'm done with these. So if you look at the eyes now, they're fully blue. And it's just a stark difference from how clear it was before. Now it's a very saturated, pretty ocean blue color. And then I'm just gonna leave those out to dry, but again, it's gonna take a lot faster than the glitter acrylic. So for the glitter acrylic eyes, we're gonna go ahead and let this set for 30 minutes to an hour, and then we'll come back, and once it's dry, we're gonna add the black paint and the sealant at the end. Okay, it's been an hour or so, probably more. I noticed when I had one coat, it wasn't quite enough, so you could kind of see on the eye that it's full of glitter. But when I checked after an hour, there was some gaps, so I went ahead and added another coat around the circumference just to make sure that we're covering all of the clear parts of the eye. And now that we're finished, so you could double check and you could feel it out, it's all dry. And they're looking super cute so far. Now that we're done with the glitter layer, I'm gonna go in with a matte black. So I just use any kind of matte black paint. And then I have a clear sealant just to make sure that everything is all the way sealed. And even when you're using like a nail polish, using a nail polish top coat is gonna give you that reassurance that the nail polish won't chip off of the eye or anything, and it's really up to you. So I'm gonna grab a clean brush, and with the matte black, I'm gonna again have my little dish right here. Then I'm gonna add just a little bit, like a little squirt of black. Take my clean brush, put that in, and again, we're gonna go over the circumference of your eye. I feel like this whole process is just a labor of love, but it's gonna make your plushies have more character and they're gonna pop really well. I think it's worth all the work that you put into it, for sure. Just like anything else with plushie making and crocheting, you know. Now that we put the black layer, I don't know if you guys can see, but it looks like the colors pop more when you add the black, just because any sort of clear space is now saturated by paint all around. So you even get like a slight black outline around your eye, which is nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for this eye. I'm so sorry for my hands. But you know, we get messy here. So I'm gonna do the same thing for this eye. Oh, look. I'm gonna do the same thing for this eye, and I will circle back with you after. Okay, now both of the eyes are done. And with the matte black paint, I noticed that it pretty much dries right away. So I'm able to go ahead and add the sealant. So the type of sealant I use is Duraclear Ultra Matte. It's a polyurethane ultra matte varnish, and it's used to give a ultra matte non-yellowing finish. It's just good reassurance that your project is sealed. It's totally optional, but I think it's a great last step in order to finish these off. The varnish itself is pretty liquidy, so I kind of just get a clean brush and then go from the top. And then I do the same thing where I am just gonna go around the circumference of the eye and just quickly go over all those spots. Do it again for the other eye, and you're done. You're just gonna go ahead and let these dry, but otherwise you have a finished set of eyes, and you've just completed your first set of basic safety eyes. Amazing job, guys. These are the type of backings that came with the eyes, and I haven't had problems with them so far. I did notice that they do kind of slip off if you don't put them on tight enough, so keep that in mind. And the safety eyes themselves are delicate, so try not to push as hard when you put them into your plushie. So my Highland cow is a good example of what your plushie will look like once the painted safety eyes are applied. And you can see that, again, it's all the way saturated with that pretty green glitter paint. It really sets it apart from other plushies, and I'm really happy with how it overall looks. I think that it is a nice added accent. So if you followed this tutorial, go ahead and let me know what you think. Let me know if you tried it yourself and you learned a new skill today. Congratulations, and I hope that it really helps you guys. I know that the painted eye look is really popular nowadays. This is your basic tutorial. There are so many artists out there that create really intricate hand-painted eyes, and I really encourage you guys to support those small businesses because they really put their heart and soul into it. I honestly just wanted to try it for myself. It is pretty time-consuming, but it's truly a labor of love that I think will really showcase to your customers how much you care about your craft. And I think that says a lot about you and your business. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye! Bye! Tan-tan! Hey, Tan-tan. Hey, sweet.